Hi guys, this is Jake at Canadian Cutting Edge, and today I have a CIMA fixed blade for you. This is the 1058 really heavy fixed blade. The spine of this knife is, wow, a 1/16 shy of a 1/4 inch thick. So that's a thick spine. Big heavy piece of steel, 9 CR18 MOV, which is a lot like 440C. That's what I've heard anyways. And it's a knife that feels good in the hand. It's got quite the point on there to take care of business. A big, nice edge that's really, really sharp. They've done a great job on it. Of course, the end of the blade turns into a finger guard right there. We've got a knife the handle starts off just under an inch and it goes up to just over an inch right here. Its widest point, which is on these randomly scalloped edges, I guess you'd call that. It's not really scalloped, but this ground out G10, the widest point is about 3/4 of an inch, which is about 2 centimeters. And it starts off just over 2 centimeters here and goes up to right around 3 centimeters back here. That G10 on there is secure and it feels really good in hand. You get lots of good purchase on it. They've rounded off all the edges so there's no hot spots and it feels really good in the hand. We've got a nice big flat area here so you can clamp it onto a system to sharpen it if you need to, if you use that kind of system, or it'll sharpen just fine on any other kind of sharpening system that you want to use. The weight of this knife is just shy of 8 ounces, half a pound right here, not quite half a pound. With the sheath, it's 9.8 ounces, 225 grams, 279 grams. So that means this sheath, this nice leather sheath, is just under 2 ounces. It's about 54 grams. You can easily fit a 2-inch belt, fit this onto a 2-inch belt, or less, no problem at all. Nice, heavy, genuine leather. There's no drain hole. It's completely sealed everywhere. So if you use this out in the rain, you're going to have to set it up upside down somewhere to dry out. You're going to have to make sure you keep this blade clean because it's got a satin finish. I've seen pictures that you can get this with a coated finish. I don't think GearBest has that right now with a coated finish. You're looking at right around $27 US for this knife from GearBest. I'll put a price and a link in the description below the video. This is a really good feeling knife. The jimping up here does add purchase for your thumb without getting any hot spots really. And I'm not sure what the jimping back here is for. You can use it to pound stuff down and grind it up or whatever. And that's about it. You could use it as a persuader, when you don't want to use lethal force. It's got a big lanyard hole in there. You can fit 1100 paracord through there. Certainly you can fit 550 paracord, no problem. So it's a good knife. They use a heat treat system at CIMA, which includes a freeze heat system. They heat it up, tremendously, and they use freezing with the heat treat system instead of just treating it in oil. So they do a good job of making this a really hard steel. It's apparently got a Rockwell hardness of 62, which is quite hard. Before we go outside, I want to do some testing of the edge, how it is brand new. It can cut newsprint just fine. So that means from the factory, it's a nice sharp knife. I'm going to do the outdoor cutting tests because today it's above freezing outside in the middle of winter. Wow. For this part of the country, that's a wow. We're going to test this knife out and then we're going to come back inside later on after the testing. Hold on, stick around, it'll be okay. Today we're looking at the CIMA. And we're going to see how well this 9 CR18 MOV holds up to some cutting tests. I've got a piece of an apple tree right here that I cut down last summer. And let's cut right through it this way. That works really well. It's a hollow grind that's about 3/4 of an inch deep from where it starts to where it terminates on the blade. No problem at all going through that. I'm doing this repeatedly to stress the edge. And what do we have here? It looks and feels pristine to me. Very good edge. Let's try a spot that's twice as thick. Look how clean that cut is. If I count the growth rings on there, that's about 25 years of growth. Things grow slower in Canada. So there's my thumb. I got a large size hand. Not bad, very smooth. I'm gonna cut that knot off. That hollow grind really lends to biting into the wood very well. I'm a sort of mediocre bushcrafter, kind of a little bit below average in my bushcrafting skills. The rest of me is pretty smart. Yeah, that edge just keeps on rocking. Let's try it on some pine. See if we can make a feather stick. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with how fine that knife can carve. Very good. Let's see if it can throw some sparks. Like I said, this spine is rounded over, so I don't think it's going to work, but I'm going to try on that jimping area. So that doesn't work too well. So the only other option to try, you know, if this is the only knife I had and I was stuck outside in inclement weather and I needed to make a fire, I'm going to try this edge right here. It feels sort of rounded. This edge right here feels sort of rounded, but it might work. We'll see. Where there's a will, there's a way to make fire. Yes. You know, I think it's a really good knife. GearBest sent this knife to me to review. Thank you so much, GearBest, for giving me the opportunity. I really like this knife. The steel 9CR18 MOV is a really good Chinese steel. I should give you a caveat to that. It's a really good entry-level Chinese steel. And that's what this knife is. It's an entry-level survival kind of knife. It's not, you know, it's not a super knife. It makes no claims to be a super duper kind of knife, but it's a good knife for somebody just getting into, you know, the idea of survival and that kind of stuff. You know, this might be a good kind of knife to get, you know, for a gift, or you're making your third bug out bag, you know, the one that probably will never ever get used. You might never ever need it, but just in case, then you don't really want to put in your $500 knife there. You'd rather get something that's $30, $40, $50. And I'll put the price in the description below, and I'll put a link to buying this in the description below if you want it. So if you like this video, please click on like, share with your friends, let other people know about this channel, and check out my other videos. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, always cut towards your chum and not your thumb. Bye now.